Alright, today we're going to do a demonstration on the Palmari universal cylindrical grinder. This is a model GU20x40, that's the capacity. NC, it's a type of control. This is a not a full-blown CNC control, but a menu-driven control that has several programs for grinding different types of workpieces, plunge grinding, traverse grinding. There's an automatic in-cycle dressing program with compensation. There's offsets. There's a lot of features that can be done with the control. So the machine here is hydraulic also. I have a hydraulic unit set up on this side. We have a hydraulic tailstock. We have a hydraulic dresser, over-the-wheel dresser for dressing the wheel. The machine is currently wired for 220 volts, 3-phase. So I'm going to go ahead here and start up the control. Goes through its little menu. I'll start the hydraulic. I'll start the grinding wheel. The screen gives you a selection of different programs. There's a traverse grinding program, and there's a plunge grinding program. There's also a manual program for doing manual work, and a page to put in certain compensations and offsets. So we can start the table going for a traverse grind and bring the grinding wheel in. The machine is currently sitting on wooden blocks, that's why it's a little shaky. So as you see, as we go back and forth here, we can adjust the speed of our table. Each time it reverses, it feeds on the left side, and it feeds on the right side. This will continue all the way down through the program. You enter values of how far you want to go, at what feed rate, and finally when you want to spark out. And finally, there's a part count on here, also a dresser interval when you're going to have your dressing cycle come in. This traverse program takes pretty long, so I'm going to send it back. And I'm going to switch over to the plunge grinding program, shut my table off. Don't forget, this is just a demo. Doesn't matter where I'm going to be. And this is the plunge grind. We come straight in, our work head comes on. And as you see here, the hand wheel is feeding down. Now it's at 0. Then the program moves into the spark out part of the cycle. After the spark out is over, the head will retract. The hand wheel will go back to its original setting. Okay, do another one. Plunges straight in. The in-feed starts. It slows down to a fine feed. Comes to 0. And begins the spark out. Now, as soon as this goes back, it's going to start to do a dressing cycle. You see the dresser moving across the top of the grinding wheel. What you didn't see is up here, this automatically advances. I have it set for about 2/10 to take off the wheel. And at the same time, at the end of the cycle, this grinding wheel, hand wheel down here for the in-feed will advance the same amount that was taken off the wheel to compensate. So the machine has automatic compensation. Once this gets back to the other side, if you take a quick look here, you will see that the very last thing it does before the next cycle will be, it will advance the amount it took off the wheel. There you go. And now we're ready to grind the next part. So you put in the control how many parts you want to grind, 10 parts, 15, 20 parts in between these dress cycles. Just for the video and for my own purpose of training with the machine, I have it every two cycles. Machine is very quiet. So we grind the second part now. And then when this cycle is over and the head goes back, it will initiate another dressing cycle. The amount of parts between dressing cycles is determined by the material that you're grinding and the type of wheel that you're using. So there goes the dresser again. I'm not actually touching the wheel because I don't have any coolant hooked up to it. You can program in the amount of the dressing increment. You can program in whether you want it to drop down and feed in on both sides of the wheel, so you go across the wheel and take off a certain amount, and then when you come back you take off additional. The control keeps record of all the parts that you ground, and you can put certain parameters in to have certain operations happen or not happen. There's a book that comes with the machine. There's some tools to remove the grinding wheel and install and put the grinding wheel on. There's a mist collector, dust collector.